introduction or a intro, bit of a premise for everyone here, or did you want me to just get started?
No, I think it's all fairly straightforward. The team's generally excited about having Microsoft 365. I think everyone's used it and is possibly even more familiar with it than with the other tech we've been using. So
Okay. I'm
pretty hopeful.
Excellent. And so what we're going to be covering today is just going through what everyone's going to be doing to swap over for tomorrow morning. And we also wanted to cover Teams. Is that right? Sorry, I'm just.
Right.
Is that right? Yes?
Yep.
Yep, cool. Excellent. All right, I will share my screen and share. Loading, come on. Cool. So as you all know, we are cutting over your emails from G Suite to Microsoft this afternoon. You've been sent this guide. It's very straightforward. It does look scary being 14 pages, but it's only because it is super step by step. It's, log in, enter your password. That's already 2 pages. It's very straightforward. You're all switched on, so I'm sure you won't have any problems at all. We're also enabling multi-factor authentication. And you should all know your passwords because you're logging in with Word and Excel and PowerPoint at the moment. Please do let me know if you don't know what, when you open Word and you're currently logging in with your incregroup.au.onmicrosoft account into Word. If you don't know what the password is for there, you need to let me know and we can reset that for you. And then you can just give yourself a new password.
And just for the team's interest, I'm also able to reset that password quite simply. I did it for Sue yesterday, so. Great.
Okay, so yeah, Ben can
save you some time, Kim.
Sure, thank you. No worries at all. If you don't know your password, reach out to Ben and you can just reset it. And then once you've got your password in, we'll be setting up multi-factor authentication, which you've all used before. It's that concept of getting the a ping on your phone. So you've just got to download that Microsoft Authenticator app. It takes you through all the different steps. It's very simple. You just you download the app and take a screenshot of the QR code, and then you're authenticated. So it takes you through each of the steps, very simple. Then you're logged in and you can access your emails in Microsoft. So the main shift that you just need to be aware of is that you currently log into Microsoft with your .onmicrosoft email username. From tonight, that will be changing to your normal email address. So instead of at incregroup.au.onmicrosoft, it'll just be your at incregroup.com.au. That's the biggest shift. And in Word and Excel, you'll need to change that. And then in all of your email accounts, so on your phone and anywhere that you access your emails, you're going to need to log out, remove your account because that's accessing G Suite, remove the account, and then add it again to go into Microsoft. You will have all of your history, all of your content, all of your contacts, all of your calendar invites, contacts, folders, everything will be there ready and waiting for you. It's just pretty much log out, log back in, and it's very quick and easy, and Carbon have said that they'll make that really seamless as well, so you shouldn't be missing anything tomorrow morning, but there's just a couple of steps to make sure that you log out and sign back in again.
And tomorrow morning we'll be logging into Carbon using the 365 button, not the Gmail button.
Okay, yep. Cool.
The only other bit there.
Excellent. Any questions from anybody on that point? Nope, we're all good. Cool.
Go for it.
Excellent. Let's dive into Teams. So has anybody used Microsoft Teams?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Great. So let me just bring this up so I can see you all at the same time. So the main benefit, I guess, around Teams above and beyond just using it for the for all the other instances, of course, the instant chat, the posts side of things, so it can kind of replicate the functionality that you would get from something like a Facebook group, where you can actually make conversations and chat in real time. It allows that casual conversation around particular topics. The main point around it is to really reduce a lot of that internal email chatter. So instead of emailing somebody directly, you can actually either instant message them if it's a one-on-one, or if it's around a particular topic, you can have a conversation and you can at individuals or at an overall group of people. And then you can have a conversation there, because it allows focused conversations that people can come and read and go back over those without having to find a one email in a list of 100 emails in an inbox. It allows for focused communications and really reduces that internal chatter. So it's a very valuable tool, and a bit of a shift of focus into Microsoft Teams. And it also allows for file sharing, which behind the scenes is Microsoft SharePoint, which is a conversation for another time. But it does have a really rich functionality of document sharing, where it has that collaboration, co-authoring functionality. So any files that you upload here directly into files, or actually any files that when you make a post and you actually attach a file to your post, it automatically saves it into your files here. So if you upload a file and have a conversation about that and say, hey, Ben, can you review this for me? What do you think? It's automatically going to save that into files for you. And then anyone will be able to see it in real time and actually open that and co-author on that same document in real time. And that means that you'll both be able to have it open and have two people's cursors available at the same time and work on the document in real time, which is a very, very valuable functionality. And you also have the ability to, you don't need to actually save as a version 1, version 2 anymore, because every single version that you save is always saved. So you can always go back and find the changes that you've made to the documents yesterday, a week ago, without having to save them as different duplications. So behind the scenes in Teams, so here in Teams, if we look at these files, when we're working on the files here, in behind the scenes, it's actually just a SharePoint library, and we can open in SharePoint, which means we're just having a look at it in the browser instead of in Teams. And we get a whole lot extra functionality when we're looking at it in this view. And it allows us to see this version history. And that version history, in this case, I think there's only going to be one, because I just uploaded it. But if I show you another file that has a bit more history on it. Let's see. Sorry, and I'm going very fast, but I'm just showing an example, so don't stress, you won't have to look at where I'm going. This is just another example of a SharePoint environment. I think this one might have a couple in it. So anywhere you see those 3 dots, it just means that you've got that extra functionality. So the 3 dots, extra menu, version history, and we'll see, I think, 2 in this one, so 4. So we've got that history where you can actually see that it was saved on the 4th and the 11th. And you've got that running history where you can go back and check who's made changes when and what did they actually change. So you don't need to save as V1, save as V2. You've always got the ability to go back in real time and open a file and actually restore or just view it of a previous copy. So you no longer need to duplicate your files, and it's just one copy saved in that location.
So just on that, Kim, we're not using SharePoint for our document management system. That's going to be our in FYI docs, but this will still be handy for sort of the ordinary interactions during a day. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So just in Teams, when you're if you're just having a chat about a file and you're just uploading a document to talk about, all of that functionality is still there in the background. So you're not managing your documents in SharePoint. You're not necessarily structuring your folders or anything in SharePoint, but you still get that benefit because behind Teams, it's using SharePoint.
That's good. Thank you.
So within Teams, the way that it is structured is you've actually got these core teams on the side. So what we're looking at now is your Teams view. So it's this little application, and the structure of the search bar and the navigation down the left is static. You're always going to see that. But what changes is this pane, and that's your teams. So whatever teams that you have been invited into. So you can see I've got quite a few. But it also depends on how your organization wants to create teams. So some organizations choose to have very static teams, so delivery, strategy, marketing, accounts, teams that are going to stay perpetual, but they're topic based. So if you have a team around marketing, then you allow different conversations around there. So you may have a testimonials channel within your marketing, or you may have client specific teams where you have client 1, client 2, or you may have a team around the Christmas party where you just spin it up, invite the relevant people who need to talk about it. They can chat about it. They can upload the booking form, talk about conversations, have a poll where you can vote where you want to go. And then once it's finished, you just close the team and it's gone. So it's whether or not you wanted to have temporary teams that come and go, or you wanted to have a period of time teams, like a project that starts and finishes. And for clients, what people quite often do is they create a channel for years, for example. So as for accountants, they quite often might have a client and then they've got 2020, 2019, 2018, because you can actually hide and show these individual channels within there. I know, again, you've got the CRM constant side, but it may be something that you can just use internally to have conversations. But the world really is your oyster on how you want to use those teams and channels. It's just a group of people coming together to talk about a specific project or a specific topic. So you can choose what those topics and teams are about, whether or not they're static topics like marketing, delivery, accounts. They're always going to be there. The things that have a good period of time, around for a couple of months or years, where you have a channel per year. Or if you have quick teams that start in November and end in January for the Christmas party. You can spin those up really quickly, because creating a team is very, very quick and easy. And you can actually create teams from other teams. So you can copy one. You might be able to have one that's your template, and then you can copy it again and again so that they're always very consistent. So within a team, you have these individual channels within it. So these are these sub headings that you can open and close. And within each channel, you then have a series of tabs across the top. So every single team channel is going to have the ability to have posts and files. And so again, that's that conversation, that's that Facebook wall where you can talk about things, make posts. You have the ability to make a poll about things. You can actually ask questions. sushi, pizza. And actually create those polls very quickly and effectively, and have people interact with those in real time, get the results. So it's just like a Facebook group where you can have that posts of walls that's going to scroll perpetually. And you've got those files. Those are the default tabs that come with every single Teams channel. But then you've got the ability to add as many extra tabs across the top as you want. So in this case, we've added a planner tab. Now, Planner is a tool that comes with Office. So it's just a Microsoft Planner, but it's a drag and drop task tool. So you have the ability here where you can create a couple of vertical buckets of tasks where you change things from tasks from completed. You can add individual subtasks to your items that people can tick off and shows the completed progress of that. So this, tracking of tasks is a very quick, free add-in to get real value. We're still in Teams, but you're adding that planner tool in seamlessly by just saying plus new tab and then clicking on the planner button.
Wow.
Planner. I've already added a planner tab, so let's choose one that doesn't have a planner tab.
Is anyone else feeling overwhelmed by how much is possible here?
Sorry, can slow down.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
But yeah, so the main concept is that you can really just add anything across the top. So all of the Microsoft apps are there for you to consume. So it may be that you can take your time to consume and understand what each of those apps do, because when you do click that add, there is so many options there to add. And it really comes down to what do you actually want to use this for? Because here we've got a feedback form. You've got the ability to have dashboards. There's so much that you can use it for. But the main concept is just you've got a single place where you can talk about a topic and you can upload files around that topic. And that's what it gives you. It gives you a place to collaborate outside of your emails. You don't want to keep emailing backwards and forwards around something. When you have a question for your colleague, you come to Teams, not emails. And you can send a message to just one person, or you can click the and talk to that one person, or you can ask a group of people and say, hey, does anybody know where this is? And as you get more comfortable with the concept of Teams, you can get a lot more advanced, a lot more, you can add more functionality to Teams. You can start adding your practice manager directly into here, where if this is a single pane of glass into all your other tools, you can start adding other things across the top here to get that functionality while you're still in Teams. But straight away, without out of the box, you can just keep it with your posts and your files, and you can have a leadership team and a ops team, and that's it. And you just have two there, or an all staff, and there's no extra channels. So it doesn't need to be big. You can start very small, but I wanted to show you where it could go.
That's excellent. I think we'll be relying on the team to explore the system and have a look around and play with it. And I think we'll just add functionality in as we see fit. I'm not going to try and come up with any grand scheme and roll it out across the company. I think we take your suggestion of picking up a general chat, and as we go, we'll just start to bring in more of the features.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the first place that I probably recommend to start is just having a Inca group internal or an Inca group all staff. It's by default going to give you a general. That's as soon as you create one, there's a general, and you've got posts and files, and so you can just have a conversation and say, hey guys, I'll be late today. I'm going to be working from home. You can just make a post in there, and it saves that all staff email. You've now got a place that people can consume at their own leisure. It's out of emails. It's in your internal notifications board, and it's coming up as activity. So it's like a ping here. It's a notification to just, hey, someone's made a post. You were mentioned, and it allows that communication side like a Facebook group, but a company controlled one that's not distracting.
It's good.
Just the other thing that's really important is to make sure that it is always open, because it's it's not going to provide that real benefit of communication and collaboration if nobody uses it, if nobody has it open. So each day just making sure that as soon as you're getting in, opening Teams so that you're actually logged in, so that people can reach you through that method, is going to be really beneficial. And that way, when people do reach out to you, it'll actually pop up. And just like a Facebook Messenger, if people do chat to you, it's going to ping here. So for example, if I just ping Ben.Holt. Actually, you're still on your, you probably don't have it open, but
yeah, I think I was logged in as a guest.
Yeah, okay. It may work. It's actually showing a symbol. So did you get that? No?
I've got this meeting on full screen, so I might.
May not chat. You did get it?
Absolutely.
Excellent. So it's and it's showing you as red because it's automatically it's seeing that you're in a meeting. So it's smart enough to look at what you're doing. So because all of Microsoft is so well integrated, it is checking your calendar to see you're in a meeting. So it's not going to be too invasive. And you can actually change your settings as well. So it knows that I'm presenting right now. I'm sharing my screen. So it's got me on Do Not Disturb. But if I change that to available and then jumped out of chat, if you sent me another message, it would pop up in the bottom corner as a ping here because I've marked myself as available. And it should just pop up to say, ding, did you send me a chat then? Yep. Well.
You're still coming in, I think.
Yeah, so I probably clicked it too soon. Yeah, so it's it just pops up in the corner, just like a Facebook message or a chat just as a notification there, but only when you're available and not busy. So if you're presenting a screen or on Do Not Disturb, you can set it so that people aren't always going to be interrupting your flow of work. But it does have that smarts. If you're not using your mouse, if you're on your break, then it's automatically going to say away. So it's going to tell that you're not using your mouse right now. But if you're watching a webinar and you're not touching the computer, but your computer's playing something, then it knows that you're busy or you're available. But it actually doesn't. It doesn't say as away because it can tell that your computer is presenting. So it's a very, very smart system to know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing, and reports on that. Any questions?
Let's do it.
Have I overwhelmed anyone? Does anyone be like, oh, this is old news, I knew all this already?
No, I've used some Microsoft 365 before, and it's really good to use it again now and get to know more of the features that I don't know before. It's really great.
Thanks, Donna. I'd also like to maybe just talk about the Teams meetings. So that's the concept right now. We're in a Teams meeting. And from the calendar button, which is the fourth one down, you can set up a new meeting, which is just going to schedule a meeting there. Or you can also, so you can create meetings from Teams directly, and that's automatically going to send them a link, just like the one that you clicked to join this meeting. Or from Outlook, there is a Teams meeting. Now, I know you do use Carbon for the emails, but this is one of where that integration gets really close knit, because that new Teams meeting is a button directly there in Outlook, and it works on your phone as well. So if you're checking your emails on your phone, using the Outlook app is going to have a lot more functionality with automatic connections into OneNote, SharePoint, OneDrive for file saving, and Teams meetings works really seamlessly with join buttons instantly. So when I click on a meeting, I can join straight away without having to go around. And even my reminders for meetings, I can join online directly from my meeting reminder view. So it's very, very integrated. If you're using Outlook, if you're using the Microsoft tools, there's a nice seamless experience. That OneNote tab, and when you're sending a new email, your attachments are automatically going to show you any files that you've been working on recently. So it's using the smarts and the artificial intelligence of everything that you do. It just saves those little tiny improvements of instead of going attach file, finding it, it knows the last 10 files I was working on and is going to present those to save that extra look. So using Outlook does give you some extra benefits around quick integration, but I appreciate that it doesn't have all those extra functionalities of the note taking of Carbon. So it may be that some might make sense in some cases, like if you're just working on your phone, maybe using the Outlook app instead of the Mail default app might give you that extra benefit.
You want to show the team the groups view?
Sorry?
Demonstrate the group view where you can have the background scenes and.
Yeah. Yes. Cool. The together mode. Very cool. So we're all sitting nicely together. If you don't have your camera on, you can turn your camera on and we can all sit together.
Cool.
We can also change where we're sitting, so we can sit in a spaceship. Sue's the captain there. Ben at the back of the bus. Be under the sea. There's a very good all swimming.
Glub.
Yep. So there's
We're off to Mars.
What's that one?
I reckon.
Mario.
I feel like Mario's going to come along and jump on my head and get 10 points or something.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff, isn't there? Well, I don't think we're ever going to exhaust the features of Teams. Do you think, Kim?
No, as soon as you start feeling like you're on it, there's always new ones. So we have every single week we're presenting and internally about, oh, today I learned this, and oh, did you know that now we can actually drag and drop directly from emails into Teams, and the raise your hand feature. We've got breakout groups in Teams now, which was only in Zoom up until I think August last year. So there's constantly new features and lots of fun. So just being able to, the Facebook Reacts came to Teams, and it's very social, very dynamic and changing.
That's good. Who else has got some questions?
Thanks, Kim. Are you able to share the PDF instruction to us? I didn't receive that. I had the issue to access my accounts.
Yeah, so Ben, did you share the PDF around?
I thought I put that on an email. It might be still coming to you. It only went out not long before this meeting, Becky. I'll just see if it's sent. That's probably the first test.
So you won't be able to follow the instructions yet. You'll have to. We're doing cutover 5 p.m. Brisbane time tonight, so you won't be able to log into Microsoft with your at incagroup.com.au yet. You'll have to wait until after 6 p.m. tonight or tomorrow morning to complete the instructions.
Very good. Do you think so, Hen?
Yeah, it's good. Are we moving to the Teams calendar from Google Calendar?
Yes.
Okay.
So when they do the cutover tonight, all of the existing stuff's going to come across. I expect we're going to find some things here and there that we need to patch up or meetings to rebook. But I think we'll just suck that up as we come across the little bits and pieces. Have you ever had any absolutely flawless cutovers, Kim?
Yeah, quite often. It's very, to be honest, the biggest thing that we've had complaints around from going from G Suite to Microsoft is that in G Suite you have, I think I mentioned this the other day, in G Suite you have a files tab and it automatically shows you all your attachments. That isn't a feature in the Microsoft Outlook. So people go, oh no, I've lost my files in my emails. And you're like, no, they're there. You just need to say filter by all attachments and then you've got it. So that is a feature that people have said, oh, you've lost it. I'm like, no, it's there. It looks different. And I think also email signatures, if you've saved them in a certain way in Google, you may need to add your signature block back to Outlook.
Sure.
But we've got a tool that automatically adds signatures and things. So it depends on how you do that. But if you're using Outlook for both G Suite and it keeps it. So whatever your current email client is, usually manages your signatures. So that won't change. If Carbon's managing your signatures, it won't change.
Sure. That's good. Well, we've had some issues with changing font sizes and things between signatures and email body and whatever within Gmail and Carbon. So I expect some of those issues will start to drop away.
Yep. Yeah, okay. I think the only other complaint we've had really at all was sometimes when you emailed from Google to Microsoft and then back to Google, if you scroll down the thread, the email signatures changed sizing in the thread. Like the new ones looked good, but if you scrolled back, the signatures changed. But again, I don't think the migration is going to affect that at all. So we've had plenty of impeccable migrations.
Excellent.
And all of your stats look quite clear. There's no massive mailboxes, no really complex delegate rights. So I'm not looking at expecting any issues for tonight's cutover.
Excellent. We'll hold you to that.
I'll go check on Divya after this, but I'm sure everything's fine. I shouldn't knock on wood, but no, everything. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Excellent. Has anyone else got any questions?
So for tomorrow, Ben, we will be using Microsoft, and then we will still be using Zoom after for our team huddle.
Yeah, I think we'll stick with what we've got for now, and then we'll migrate to Teams for all the internal meetings just because of how much more straightforward it'll be.
Sure.
at the moment, we'll stick with Zoom for external because we've got a few clients that, for some reason, struggled with Teams when we tried to have Teams meetings with them previously. So hopefully
Sure.
we'll move them all across one day, but we'll stick with Zoom for external and migrate to Teams for internal.
All right. We'll try to log into the Microsoft tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and the other great thing just on Teams here, so when you do log in tomorrow morning and you've got your Teams app, down the side here you'll have your activity chat. One of the things that I'd probably recommend searching for just here is the help. And that is so you can just have that available on the left side at all times. And it'll actually show you how to do absolutely everything you could ever want. So if you want to, so how do I do a poll? Again, I can't remember what Kim clicked. It shows you how to create a poll on the left on Teams, do this, type in forms, and it shows you exactly how to do that. Or you can, type, so what's a channel? Well, I remember that word, what does it mean? And it'll explain that. How do you create a channel? What's an overview for those? How do you do it on your phone? And it has full topics. You can actually do some full training sessions. So welcome, some basics around files, chat. So they're really short and sweet little videos, focused on how to show and hide channels, all these different details. So if you're going to be one of the admins or the key people working with Teams, I probably recommend just clicking that help and then watching some of these videos and getting a bit more familiar with some of those tools in there. And it's always also showing you what's new. So all these features that it keeps releasing, it presents those to you in a timeline as well. So you can see what's the cool new things that are coming. Great resource. Anything else? Questions? No?
No.
Cool.
No.
Ben, did you want to go over any other apps or tools in Microsoft? I don't want to give overwhelm.
No, I think that's good. The team's well used to Word and Excel and so on, and Outlook.
Okay.
So I think
I have a question.
Go for it.
Because in Carbon we are, we have tasks there. Can we also use the planner for the teams? Is it being automated?
So all of the tasks that work in Carbon are going to appear in your Exchange tasks. So if you're using Outlook, you've got your emails, your calendar, your contacts, and your tasks. So those are going, anything that's in Google is going to move across.
I'll just jump in there. The tasks that Rich is talking about are actually only in the Carbon app. They're not actually a Google feature, so they'll remain in Carbon for now, and they'll eventually be managed in FYI docs and XPM. So it's a different functionality to the Google tasks themselves.
Okay.
So nothing changes.
Yep.
Keep it simple. The planner is a fun one if you wanted to play with it on the side. Yeah, so that's I guess the bulk of it. There is lots of other things, but that's the real basics around it. Have a look at that help guide if you ever want to learn around how to do those things. I think the only other thing that's probably just going to be really useful when creating that all staff and you've got the general one is the concept of having some private channels. So you can actually have a channel that's restricted to just some members of that wider group. So you can actually have a like a management section where the whole team's here, but you have a restricted one that's actually got some reduced permissions and with less people in the group. So there's lots of different uses in that case. But when you're adding a channel, so you're just adding an item under that, you can just choose a private one, and then you get to invite certain people to it, and it just has a little lock next to it to show you that it's just a private one. So it allows you to, a case where we use that is, for example, in a project, we might have an internal side chat about the client in that, where we can talk about that client, but the client's in the rest of the phases, but then we have a little private chat without them. Or we actually have a performance reviews team, and every individual has their own channel, and each user only has one channel. They see their own, whereas the management can see all of them. So that's there's a couple of fun concepts you can play with when you start adding some private channels. But starting off with just that one group and that one channel, we'll let you play, and then you can start determining, well, what teams make sense for you.
Good.
Cool. Excellent. Okay. Did you want to, if there's no more questions, did you want to wrap up there, or did you want to have a look at some of the other tools and things?
I think we're probably better off wrapping up there. Personally, I think I'd get overloaded if I tried to dive into any of the other apps that the others can say.
Cool.
If
All
anyone wants
good
to
for me.
explore. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, no worries at all. So yeah, that's well, we can wrap up there. We'll leave the classroom for for today. Thank you all. Please, don't hesitate to reach out. We will do that cut over this afternoon and send a testing email out to everyone in the morning, just to make sure that everyone has logged into their new environment. And we'll do plenty of testing and quality assurance this afternoon as well, just to make sure that cutover does occur. So let me know if you have any questions. But Ben is of course the first point of call if you need to get your password reset or anything, and then Ben can reach out to us. Do you want me to drop that guide in the chat here, Ben, or you've sent that around to everyone?
I have emailed it around, but probably worthwhile to drop it in there again, so it's handy for people.
Yep. Cool. I'll drag that in now. Teams. I didn't have a chat open. Good. All right. So I guess if that's all we're going to cover, then I guess I will leave you back 15 minutes of your day, and sorry, I'm just uploading that there. Yes, okay. Sorry, multitasking. Touch. No. And I'll also share the recording with everyone of the video just after this as well, so you can rewatch it after the fact.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kian.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Have a lovely rest of the day.
You
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.